Okay, so for more than a decade, the McDonald's Monopoly game was just a fixture. It felt harmless, it was fun, and you peeled those little stickers off your Big Mac box, sort of dreaming of that instant, life-changing prize.
It was built on that promise of pure random luck.
Exactly. But here's the hook, the thing we have to get into right away. For years, that entire game was secretly rigged. Regular customers, people like you playing honestly, never really had a chance to win the big stuff.
Not the million-dollar prizes, no. The system was completely controlled, manipulated. The prizes were essentially stolen before you ever got your French fries.
It sounds like something out of a movie.
It really does, but it's just cold, hard history. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar fraud that went on for more than 10 years. It was a complete breakdown of trust in a huge international brand, all hidden behind, bright packaging and photos of smiling winners.
And that is what we're here to unpack.
Yeah.
Because our sources show this wasn't some external hacker group or a random warehouse theft.
No, this was an insider job.
A deep systemic corruption. In this deep dive, we're going to get into the specific methods used by the guy they called Uncle Jerry, how his network of fake winners kept up their disguises, and the completely separate federal investigation that just stumbled upon the whole thing.
It's a fascinating case study in vulnerability. To really get it, I think we have to start with the game itself, the simple genius of it.
Right, because the simpler it looks on the surface, the harder it is to see the flaw underneath.
For sure.
So the structure was, it was basic. You buy food, you get game pieces.
And most of those little peel-off stickers were the common ones: Park Place, Mediterranean Avenue. Useless on their own.
The whole fantasy, the whole game was about finding that one incredibly rare piece to complete a set for a car. Or the huge cash prizes.
And the critical assumption, the foundation of the entire promotion, was randomness.
Random distribution.
Yeah. If McDonald's prints one winning boardwalk piece, it has to have a chance of ending up anywhere, from Anchorage to Miami. If you take away the randomness, the whole thing just collapses. It becomes a private lottery.
So McDonald's, obviously a huge corporation, they understood there was a security risk. To protect the game's integrity, they outsourced the production, the printing, and especially the security of those valuable pieces to an outside company.
Simon Marketing.
And the idea was that this would keep things safe.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about compartmentalization. You separate responsibilities, you create checks and balances. That was the theory.
But the sources make it painfully clear that what it actually created was the perfect blind spot.
McDonald's handed over total control of the most valuable pieces, the keys to the entire vault, to this third-party firm, and just trusted them.
And inside that firm, Simon Marketing, was the single point of failure, the man at the center of it all, Jerry Jacobson.
And he wasn't just some employee, he was a former cop.
Which gave him this instant air of trustworthiness, right?
Oh, absolutely. He became the director of security for the whole Monopoly promotion. His job was literally to prevent fraud. He was in charge of transporting the actual physical, high-value winning pieces.
And what our sources just hammer home is the chilling simplicity of his method. He didn't have to hack anything.
No computers, no alarms. His role was the access. The trust the company placed in him was the vulnerability.
He literally managed the entire chain of custody.
And he saw the weak point. It was that moment after the rare pieces were printed and sealed, but before they were supposed to be mixed in randomly with all the common pieces.
He had access to them in their secure anti-tamper envelopes, the ones only he was supposed to verify.
So instead of putting those winning pieces into the bins for random distribution, he just took them.
He'd carefully break the seal, swap out the winning piece, let's say it's the short line railroad for $1 million, and replace with a common one. Then he'd just reseal the envelope.
And that was it. Those winning pieces never, ever had a chance to reach a customer like you. They were gone before the game even began.
And this is where it stops being just a simple theft and becomes this really sophisticated, long-running criminal enterprise.
Right, because once you have the tickets, you have to cash them without raising suspicion. You have to create the illusion of randomness.
An illusion that required a whole network of fake winners. Yeah. And this wasn't just, giving a ticket to his brother-in-law.
No, his network grew to over 50 people. Friends, relatives, but it gets darker. He recruited associates, including people with mob connections and even drug traffickers.
The complexity is just staggering.
It had to be. He needed people who looked like your average McDonald's customer. Some of them he paid a flat fee, maybe $50,000 to cash in a $1 million prize. Others were sort of coerced into it.
And he was like a director managing the whole performance.
Oh, completely. He told them exactly when to claim the prize, which city to do it in, and they all had to rehearse these fake backstories.
Oh, we were just on a road trip and stopped for a burger.
Exactly that kind of thing. And crucially, he made sure there were no detectable patterns. You couldn't have 3 big winners from the same small town in Georgia. That would trigger all sorts of red flags.
The whole operation was designed to look boringly normal.
And the media, of course, played right into it. The fraud became self-reinforcing.
Right, because you see the winners smiling on TV, you see the McDonald's executives handing over the giant checks.
And you believe it's real. The more legitimate the winners appeared, the more the public believed in the fairness of the game.
The incredible irony here is that the scam worked because it obeyed the system's rules, at least on the surface.
It did. All the internal audits were designed to catch outsiders trying to break in, not the guy who was already guarding the vault. So for over 10 years, the alarms just, they never went off.
It's breathtaking. The duration from 1989 all the way to 2001. Millions of dollars paid out, while millions of you are diligently playing, spending your money, thinking your odds are just small, but, still real.
When in reality, you were chasing prizes that were never even in play.
And this might be the biggest failure of all. The whole thing did not come crashing down because of a McDonald's audit or some suspicious store owner.
No, they never figured it out.
The scheme was unmasked by a completely unrelated federal investigation.
The FBI. They were running this massive probe into organized crime, specifically associates of the Colombo family.
They weren't even looking for monopoly fraud.
Not at all. The code name was Operation Final Answer. They were looking for money laundering, suspicious financial trails. And what tipped them off were these tiny, strange overlaps between prize winners across the country.
Things that randomness shouldn't allow.
Exactly. Like, why would 2 massive prize winners, one in Florida, one in California, who have no connection, why would they use the exact same financial advisor?
Or share social links to a person the FBI already had under surveillance.
It's a statistical impossibility. A game built on chance was producing these distinct, non-random patterns.
And when the FBI started pulling on those threads,
they found Jacobson at the center of the web, connecting all of these supposedly lucky people. They started using wiretaps, sting operations.
And the wiretaps were the key, weren't they?
They were everything. The agents heard them planning the next payouts, who was winning, where they'd claim it, how Jacobson was going to get his kickback. It was all laid bare.
The fallout was just devastating. Over $24 million in fraudulent winnings. But more than the money, it was the public trust.
The realization that the whole thing was a lie. This wasn't 1 or 2 stolen pieces. It was almost every single major prize for a decade.
And the public reaction when the news broke in 2001 was just disbelief and then anger.
Of course. McDonald's immediately went on the defensive, claiming they were the victims, pointing the finger at Simon Marketing and Jacobson. And, legally they were, but their reputation took a huge hit.
In the end, Jacobson and a bunch of his co-conspirators were convicted and went to prison.
And Simon Marketing, the security company, had to pay a massive settlement.
The Monopoly game itself was suspended. When they brought it back, it was completely redesigned with all these new layers of oversight.
Multiple verification firms, divided responsibilities. They had to build a new system that trusted nothing and verified everything just to get that illusion of randomness back.
If you connect this to the bigger picture, it's really a story about how systems fail when trust replaces verification.
And how the biggest threat isn't always the person trying to break in from the outside. It's the insider who already has the keys.
It's also a powerful lesson in psychology, isn't it? People are just far more likely to accept a bad outcome and blame it on their own bad luck
than they are to question the fairness of the system itself.
So what does this all mean? The ultimate punchline is that for over 10 years, the millions of people who played honestly weren't just unlucky.
You were never allowed to win.
See you in the next video.